We're following breaking news right now on Denver 7 News at 6. Just in the next couple of minutes, and please stay with us, Denver Public Schools will update us about this video that shows that East High School cheerleader, coach forcing her to do the splits. She's in pain, and it's gained national attention now.
We know you've all seen the video over and over again. Well, Denver 7's Liz Gilardi is at DPS headquarters right now, where that news conference is about to start. You can see the picture there of the room at DPS headquarters. This is at 10th and Grand here in downtown Denver. We are waiting for someone to walk up to that podium. Presumably, the superintendent, Tom Boasberg, is the one who will be holding that news conference here. We were looking at the picture just a few minutes ago, and we know that there are several people who have gathered in that room for that news conference. But again, we are waiting for the superintendent himself to come up to the podium and tell us something that the district is going to decide regarding this incident. And
right now, 5 people have been placed on administrative leave, including that coach, his name is Ozell Williams, and the principal, and 3 others. So we don't know what is going to come out of this press conference. We have learned since that video surfaced that that coach, Ozell Williams, was actually fired by Boulder Valley School District for a very similar complaint. And the video you're looking at on the left, that was from back in June, East High School cheerleading at a camp, and that is the coach behind him forcing this girl, her name's Allie Wakefield, into the splits, where it's way past the part where, or past the point where she is comfortable with. She's begging him to stop. So we know this news conference was supposed to start at 6 o'clock on the nose. We are now 6 and 30 seconds, 6 o'clock and 30 seconds, and we are waiting again for the superintendent to come to that podium to discuss the situation at East High School. Again, we saw the video over and over again, particularly on our social feeds, and we know that some sort of a decision is supposed to be handed down at this news conference right now. And again, we know that several reporters are in that room right now, and the folks from DPS are there right now, but we're waiting, just as you are, to see what happens. And a national cheerleading group saw that video and released a statement today calling those methods archaic, saying they have been debunked, that those have worked in the past, and perhaps in the past they were used, but this coach, Ozell Williams, still using them today. He has kept a very, very low profile since the video surfaced. He told the Denver Post basically only that the video was taken out of context. So we haven't heard a lot from him defending himself and why he did that. And since that video's come out, we've seen several other clips very similar to that. Girls also in pain. In fact, some a little more severe than that. And I think you can see this both as what they were trying to accomplish there at the cheer camp, but then you look at that through the eyes of a parent, and that's hard to take. All right, so we are going to keep watch on this picture right now. We have other news to get to this evening, but we will watch that picture. If and when Tom Boasberg comes up to that podium, we will bring that news conference to you live. It looks like they're still dealing with some technical stuff right at the moment, and we'll get back to that here in just a moment. In fact, there's actually more trouble for the Denver Public Schools tonight. They say one of their students was attacked on an RTD bus because of his race. And police are now investigating. The suspect still on the run. This happened on Wednesday. We're just now learning what happened. Denver 7's Jennifer Kowaleski, as you see, is live at South High School. Some conflicting information this evening on this, Jen.
Shannon and Denver police have not yet been able to confirm that this is racially motivated, but the school district and the superintendent say it was, and that the principal here at South actually heard from witnesses. And actually right now, the superintendent, Tom Boasberg, is actually talking right now about the incident at East High School. Let's listen in.
East High School. First, I very much want to say thank you to the teachers, the counselors, and the staff at East High School and the entire East community for the way the community has come together over the last several days to face a very challenging situation. Yesterday, our counselors brought the young women from the East cheer team together and spent the better part of the day with them to help them heal, to help them come together as a team, and to address any concerns or fears or questions or issues that they have. This is our first and foremost duty, to make sure that our students are safe and being supported during this very difficult time. I am grateful to the entire East community for putting the needs of our kids front and center. I also want to talk for a moment about the timeline of events that occurred leading to today, to the best of my knowledge. As you know, there's an investigation underway, and we are learning new things every day. I talk to you today with the understanding and the reality that in the course of an investigation, we will learn new things. So what I am stating is to the best of my knowledge today. This is my understanding of the events that transpired. At a cheer camp at East High School in the second week of June, at least some members of the cheer team were subjected to a technique known as forced splits. This was captured on video. I want to be very clear that this technique is dangerous and unacceptable. We do not permit forced splits or any practice or any technique that puts the physical safety or emotional well-being of any of our kids at risk. On Thursday, June 15th, the mother of one of the young women on the cheer team sent a letter to the athletic director at East that raised her deep concerns about the use of forced splits. This communication included at least one of the videos that some of you have now seen. Immediately afterwards, the next morning, the East principal, athletic director, and an assistant principal met with the young woman, her parents, and the cheer coaches to discuss the concerns that the mother had raised. At that meeting, the school leadership team believed that they had addressed and resolved the parents' and students' concerns. It is now clear they had not. It is also clear that the decision made at that time not to terminate the employment of cheer coach Mr. Ozell Williams was wrong. What is shown in the videos is extraordinarily distressing. At that time, the decision should have been made to terminate the employment of Coach Williams, and I believe to report what was observed on the video to the police. This week, on Tuesday afternoon, we received a Quora request from the media that requested information about the cheer coach, including any letters from cheer parents and any videos. Up until that time, neither I nor any member of my senior team was aware of the existence of the videos or the practice of forced splits. We received the videos late Tuesday night, and on Wednesday morning, immediately began our investigation. At the same time, Denver police informed us on Wednesday morning that they were initiating an investigation based on a complaint made to Denver Human Services about the forced splits at the cheer team practice. Our standard practice with the Denver police is that when they launch a criminal investigation, we collaborate very closely with them and allow them to take the lead because of the possibility of criminal prosecution. Our collaborative practice has been that they interview individuals related to the case first. And while they are doing their investigation, we do not release information or perform our own interviews. When we began working with the Denver police on Wednesday, we made the decision to place 5 DPS employees on leave. We believe this was necessary to protect the well-being of students on the cheer team and to conduct a fair and thorough investigation of what had transpired. That brings us to today. Having now worked closely with police over the last 2 days and looked closely at the evidence that has been gathered, we have made the decision today to terminate the employment of the coach of the cheer squad, Mr. Ozell Williams. He is no longer an employee of the Denver Public Schools. We have also made the decision to employ an outside law firm, Davis, Graham & Stubbs, to perform an independent investigation of exactly who knew what, when, both at the school and at the district level, with regard to the practice of forced splits in the cheer team, the safety of the students, and the concerns of the parents. We will ensure the investigation is conducted thoroughly and fairly, and we pledge to make the results of the investigation public. Consistent with our shared core value of accountability in the Denver Public Schools, all our employees are accountable for their actions and will be held accountable for them. On a personal note, as hard as it was, I have watched all of the videos. And as a superintendent, and as a father, and as an athlete, they are deeply disturbing. What happened was wrong. Under no circumstances should a young person should be in a situation where they are suffering physical or emotional harm. Under no circumstances should a young person be forced to continue any activity beyond the point where they have expressed their desire to stop. I appreciate that our athletes push themselves hard to fulfill their potential, and our coaches play a critical role in this. But that is not what this is about. This was way beyond that line. I want to say this as clearly as I can. We were wrong not to have taken certain actions in June, and we are doing everything in our power to ensure the safety and well-being of every one of our students. Thank you. I'll take your questions. Please understand there may be some questions that I may not be able to answer because of the ongoing investigation. I will answer what I can to the extent that I can. And again, to stress, when the independent investigation is complete, we will make the results of that investigation public. Finally, I would also request to you that to please respect the privacy of the minors captured in the videos who have not given their consent to have their faces or their identities revealed.
Denver Public School Superintendent Tom Boasberg announcing the result of the investigation for the school. That video that's outraged, I think, the entire country, not just the Denver metro area. That coach, Ozell Williams, has been fired for forcing some of those cheerleaders to do something called forced splits, with the superintendent called dangerous and unacceptable. And
there he was speaking really not just as a superintendent, but as a father, and discussing how dangerous that practice was, and that really the district should have taken action back in June. So we do have Liz Gilardi there in that news conference, and they are taking questions right now. She'll have a full report for us coming up at 10 o'clock.